Hi, everyone. It's Rochelle, and it's Thursday. I'm wearing a hat, so it's time for Hat Chat. You're going to want to stay tuned today because we have my friend and soon to be your friend, Crystal Radke from Creative in Life. Now, she's going to give you some back to school tips because we have the series wrapping up called Back to School Success. So please share this broadcast now, tag some teachers who might need some ideas for back to school success. And we are happy that you came to wrap up our series. So here, let's bring her in. Hi, Crystal.
Hey, I'm so glad to be here tonight.
I am so glad to have you. And in your honor, look what I have on my hat.
Oh, a Texas hat.
Given to me by my
one of those.
good friend Debbie gave me this. So thank you, Debbie. And I have the perfect opportunity to wear it to welcome Crystal in. So welcome.
Thank you.
Now, you know how Hat Chat works. You got to tell us about your hat, and then you have to tell us a joke. Let's hear about your hat.
Okay, so here's my hat. I actually don't wear hats because I feel like I look like a big head. So I don't own a hat. So I ran to Hobby Lobby yesterday and I thought, this is perfect because it's small and it's cute. And I'll have one for Halloween now. So that's my hat. My joke is, what do you call a teddy bear with no teeth?
A teddy bear with no teeth?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
A gummy bear.
A gummy bear. Good one. I love gummy bears. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to go get some, I think. Thanks for the reminder. Now, do you have a special guest visiting you right now?
I do. I thought I would bring him on for a second. He has his hat on. Now, he is super cute in a hat. This is Bennett. And for those of you who follow me on Creative in Life, we are in the process of adopting Bennett. We've had him since birth. Up here, Bubby. Up here. And he is 4 months old as of last Sunday. And he can rock a serious hat. And so he has been so much fun. Bennett, look up. Look up. Look up. There we go.
Hi,
There
Bennett.
we go.
Oh, my heart is melting. Oh, my goodness. We've never had a baby on Hat Chat. I love it. It should be a regular feature.
Give him a smile. Give her a smile. He just wants to lick the phone. That's all he wants to do is lick the phone. And chew on the phone.
Hi, big boy.
We're teething, so we've got drool for miles.
Oh, my gosh. What a blessing. He is adorable. Yeah. Thank you for bringing him on Hat Chat. Oh, bye, bud.
He probably wouldn't last, so we're going to let him.
You got helpers in the back.
She's on Bennett duty while I'm doing this.
That's awesome. Well, you have the blog Creative in Life and the website, and you just mentioned that, but can you tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and what you're passionate about?
Sure. I am based outside of Waco, Texas, and my background is an early childhood educator, mainly in the kindergarten classroom. I'm currently not in the classroom. This is my 3rd year out of the classroom. I work as an educational consultant, and I travel around the U.S., and I speak at conferences and provide professional development opportunities. I'm also the mom to 4 children. I can't get used to that. We're a family of 6 now. I have 3 older children, James, Joseph, and Grace, and they are 18, 19, and 21. We adopted them from foster care. We've had them for 14 years. And then Bennett is our newest addition. So our youngest of what we call phase 1 is a senior this year, and our other 2 in college. And so, but yeah, that's pretty much what I do. My website, Creative in Life. When it was Creative in Kinder years ago, it was primarily just for early childhood teachers. And when I rebranded, I did that because I wanted it to be for educators and for parents. I wanted it to be a resource that you as a teacher could put article links into your newsletter of how to help your child read at home, why it's important to get sleep at night, things like that. And so it's very parental focused and also education focused.
All right, we've already linked it down there, Creative in Life. You're gonna want to go on there. Crystal has so many great tips. And if you are a Disney fan, Crystal has some good tips about
Yes.
Disney on her
I'm kind
site.
of a Disney nut. I've been 8 times and hoping to go again real soon. I have the parks memorized. I think in another life I could be like a Disney vacation planner, and it would be so exciting.
That would be so fun. Now, your next thing is you have to go and visit all the other countries' Disneylands, right?
Yes, yes. My husband does not like to fly, but I have a passport, so that means we'll travel. I already told Bennett he might be a backpack baby, and we might just take on the world.
There you go. Well, he will do it. I can already tell. That's so great. Well, thank you for joining us today because you have great experience for back to school success. Now, you did a webinar for us where you talked all about parent communication and how important that is for the foundation of back to school or year-long success in the classroom. Do you have anything you want to tell us about that?
Yes, I think the most important thing starting off is building a relationship. We work really hard to build that trust with students. It's just as important that we build trust with parents. And so, I would work on a deposit and withdrawal system, meaning I would deposit in conversations, time, and effort into relationship with parents before I had to call them and say, oh, your child's struggling with this. This is what we're working on. Because I don't want the first time that I make contact with them to be a concern. I think it's really, really important that that first contact is this is me. My name is Crystal Radke, and I'm going to be your child's teacher. And I'm so excited, and they're doing really well. And really just building that bridge that it shouldn't be I'm on a team and they're on a team. We're on a team together for the success of their child. And I want them to know that is exactly why I am there, is to help them, but I also need their help because teachers can't do it alone. And parental support is so, so important. So, if I had to call a parent and say, we had this behavioral issue, and I've already talked to them a few times before, then we should have some sort of relationship there that they trust me. They know I have their child's best interest at heart, and I'm just, not picking on their child. That I'm calling for support, and it's not just for them to support me, but for me to support them, because it goes both ways. And so, I always tried to make, when I was in the classroom, I would make a contact before school started and then the first week of school. And then I wasn't always the best at, honestly, for a while, I really struggled with keeping records of when I talked to parents, and that wasn't very good to hold me accountable. And so I created this little communication log. It's in my Creative and Kinder Teachers Pay Teacher store. It's free. But I didn't want to take time to get in the computer system, look up a parent's name, and then forget to jot down the notes. And so I created this system for myself. So it had all of that information on there, the student's name, the parents' names, or the grandparents, whomever the child is living with. And on the back is a communication log. So it has dates, how we communicated. An email's fine. A lot of parents prefer that, and that's okay. The important thing is that we're making connections. But if I email, I'll talk with them on the phone, and then what we talked about. And so that holds me accountable. And so when I started using the system, I was better about making some sort of monthly communication. Something else that I did the last year I was in the classroom, actually the last 2 years I was in the classroom, was to create a private Facebook page. You couldn't find it if you wanted to. I had to send the parents a link, and it was amazing. I had parents that wouldn't check newsletters or backpacks, but they always check Facebook. And instead of, I wanted to bridge a gap. As a mom, the thing I disliked the least was asking my kids when they came home from school, what did you learn today? What are they going to say? Nothing. Or what did you do today? Nothing. I don't know. And so I got rid of that for my parents when I could show them pictures of a force and motion activity that we did and these ramps we built. I would say, parents, we learned about force and motion and the vocabulary that I taught them, and ask your child how they did that today, or this song we learned, or these words, or these sentences, or whatever it is. And so they didn't have to have that same conversation with their kids. And it really helped open communication at home, which was so exciting to get the feedback from parents who really appreciated that.
Did you ever put pictures of the children up there too, and
Yes.
you made sure to have that release form? Was that
Oh,
something
yeah.
important that had to
So,
be done?
yeah. So my deal was, and when I, for open house, I didn't have all parents come, but I did make phone calls until I reached all parents. My deal was, every student had to be allowed to participate, because I wasn't going to exclude students from pictures and activities. So it was kind of an
Excellent.
all or none situation. I made it very clear that it was private, that, they could not share the pictures. No one, their family members couldn't be a part of the group. They couldn't, anybody else couldn't find them, because it was a hidden group. And so, and I monitored it. I set it up to where I had to approve comments, and I had to approve, when parents asked questions, just to make sure it was a very safe and healthy place. But it was really great, because my parents built relationships with each other, and I had the most volunteers that year. I had the most donations that year, and I was in a Title I school, and usually we were really lacking. But I think when parents actually got to experience, what their children were doing and learning, they were more invested. We went on field trips. They couldn't go. That's okay. I brought it to them through Facebook, and that was an amazing opportunity.
I love it. And thanks for really getting into the details about the privacy issues, because the former principal in me is very
Yes.
concerned about that. So I know you set it up that way, and that's why I wanted to make sure everybody knew it's not just making any old Facebook group, it's like really making it secure. So you did all the
Yes.
right things there. Thank you for
Yeah,
setting it up.
it was locked down.
Locked down. That's what I like. That's great. Well, Crystal goes around and talks to teachers all over the country, as she mentioned. Do you have any places that you're coming up, and what kind of topics are you teaching teachers?
I will be, gosh, I don't even know. I'm not going out until December. Actually, I just finished a really long run for back to school. I was in 3 states in 1 week, and that was interesting, especially with a baby. But my
Wow.
family is amazing. So I am thankful, that my schedule will allow me to be home for the next few months. But in December, I'm going to Michigan, and where else? I think Arkansas. In January, I'll be in Oklahoma. Um, where else? Maybe Tennessee. I've got 3 in January, and then I'll be doing the Texas K in February. And I'm
Hmm.
still building my calendar for the remainder of the school year for school professional development. What do I speak on? Everything. If I'm working with a school district, I build, the program with the administrator based on the teacher needs. And it's really important that it's something I want their time to be spent well. I want it to be meaningful. I don't want them to be bored. I want them to walk away and say, man, that was awesome. I can't wait to apply these things to my classroom, my students, my life. I also do a keynote, that talks about keeping the joy in teaching and in your life, and finding that balance. And so that kind of is my heart song. I love that I get to encourage teachers, because what you do is so, so important. And other topics, writers' workshops, STEM is really big right now. Phonics and phonemic awareness, just anything and everything. I'm really passionate about speaking, on behavior. My 3 older children that we adopted through foster care, they all have ADHD or ADD. They're all dyslexic. My youngest is on the spectrum, and it's been challenging raising traumatized children, children who've been through abuse and neglect. And that's, unfortunately, a lot of the children that we're seeing struggle with a lot of issues today, and ODD, just sensory disorders. And so my children now, fast forward after 14 years of every type of therapy you can imagine are doing well at life, and it's exciting to see them as young adults. But I don't think as educators we are equipped with the knowledge that we need to help children like them. And so I'm very passionate about working with teachers, because when I see a child like that, I think, oh, that's my James, or oh, that's my Joseph, or oh, that's my Grace. And I teach them, love them, care for them like I would want somebody to do my child, or they did for my child. And so that's a lot of what I speak on now too, because I'm very passionate, because those children sometimes need more than one village, and sometimes you're the only village as the teacher. And so what you do is so important.
Yeah, and here's our friend Terry, who loves listening to you.
I
And
know Terry.
Terry is so great that she spoke up and said that, because that's so great. And she has, everyone has those kind of kids in the students, in the classroom. And so to have those kind of students and to listen to what you're saying. And I know that on your blog too, you cover a lot of tips and things too. So people should really follow you. Oh, and Crystal, you're going to be in KTOT too.
Oh, am I? Okay.
What it says. Okay. Well, it's just right down the road.
I need to update my schedule. I'm telling you, this new mom brain is, and I didn't even carry my baby. Like I don't know how women do it, honestly. I've always heard about pregnancy brain. My sister had 3 children, and my sister-in-law had 5. And but this new mom thing, I'm like, oh my gosh, I was so nervous before I went to I Teach K. I kept telling my mom, I don't remember my name some days. What if I am horrible? And so luckily it all came back, and I was okay. But
it's the lack of sleep, Crystal. That's the thing, right?
I think so. We were doing so good, and we just hit a little bit of regression. So I'm praying that it's short-lived.
Yes, I hope so too. Oh my goodness. I remember back in the day. I have a phase 1 and a phase 2 family too. So I get it. I know what that feels
she's
like.
Fresh. I love your phase 2 pictures.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Crystal, you are just awesome. Do you have any other back to school tips for success this year? I know that you're really passionate about teachers, and we are too at ESGI. And we just want to come together and say, teachers, thank you for all that you're doing. And Crystal, any last words that you want to share with them?
I think the most important thing, all of these conversations and webinars and things are so great, but the best advice I could give to a teacher right now is to take care of yourself. That we push ourselves to the max. I'm sure if you have just gotten through or trying to make it through your first week of school, you are beyond exhausted. Your feet hurt, your hips hurt, your brain hurts. You're tired, you're hungry, and it's just really important to take the time for yourself. It's really easy to stay at school every weekend and work, but let me tell you, you will never get everything done. So take the time, step back, sleep, rest, give your body the proper fuel it needs, eat well, and let your body rest. So when you go back to school on Monday, you've had a disconnect, and you've energized yourself, and you're ready to take on whatever the week holds. And so you can't pour from an empty cup. So make sure you keep yours full.
That is so great. Well, we're going to end on that, because that is amazing advice. Thank you so much for being with us, and thanks for that beautiful baby. Oh my goodness, we're going to have that every time now. Babies on Hat Chat. All right, Crystal, have a good evening and take care. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.